She's a beaut. What is Debt-Free Homesteaders? It's where we build, we make, we create. Come, join us, and maybe consider subscribing. Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you had an awesome holiday, Christmas, New Year's. We had an awesome time here on the homestead. It was really good being with the family, had some time off of work, got a lot of things done down around here in the shop, built a new workbench. Yeah, pretty good times. But one thing I did get on New Year's Eve was a brand new to me, horizontal bandsaw. This is made by Buffalo Tools. I've never heard of them myself. Maybe some of you have. Trying to look up this horizontal bandsaw on the web. Don't find a whole lot about it, believe it or not. Even though I do find other models that look exactly like this thing. I think this thing is stamped out and then just, you know, different labels are put on it by, you know, different sellers. But anyways, there are many bandsaws out there, but this one is mine, so I'm pretty happy about that. It cuts really straight. Mr. Dude with a Face and I both were really straight. We were really happy to see how straight this thing cuts. We've got some projects coming up that I just wanted to have one of these around to help us cut the metal that we needed for some upcoming projects. Cutting a lot of stock like this, I just don't care to do with a grinder all day long, and sure as heck not with a hacksaw. So I think this is going to be the ticket. It's rusty in some areas. I got it for less than $100, which was the perfect, that's what I wanted to spend on it. Picked it up from this farmer's house out in the country. Really cool. Found this on the classifieds, called the guy, made the deal. He held it for me. I drove 60 miles in one direction, got in the old pickup truck, went, fueled up, headed out into the country with the dog. Just, it was beautiful out there. It was so nice to get away from, you know, the suburban homestead that I'm in, and just get out to the country where one day I hope I can eventually be with my family. But until then, the drive was very nice. Blue skies, you know, the mountains were covered in snow. It was just nice to get on the country. Grizzly had his head sticking out the window, and he just, the wind blowing in his face, he was having a great time. So I make the deal with this guy. We get the saw loaded up. It was in a 28-foot box trailer, so it was out of the weather, but this may have been in the weather at one time because it's got a lot of rust on it that I got to clear up. So we're going to get this cleaned up over the next couple of weeks. But anyways, what made this really neat is that I was watching a YouTube channel the other day. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about blacksmithing, and they said, you know, ask around. When you run into people, ask around if you're looking for blacksmithing stuff, you know. And so I asked this guy, I says, hey, you don't happen to know anybody that might be, you know, selling some blacksmith stuff, you know, anvils, vices, things of that nature. He says, hold on one second. He pulls out his phone. Yeah, Joe? Yeah, I got a fella here I'm selling my horizontal bandsaw to. Yeah, do you have any blacksmithing stuff? Do you have any, you know, you still got any of those hammers or anvils? Okay, yeah, I'll send him your way. His name's Will. So he gets off the phone. He says, you're going to head back down to the highway. You're going to head down the highway to the old mill. Remember that big mill? I says, yeah, I remember the mill. He says, you're going to make a left there. I said, okay. So I made a left. He says, go up a couple of houses. You'll see a guy with a shop on the right-hand side of the road. That's the place you want. You're looking for Joe. Couldn't believe it. So I did just that. I drove down to the old mill. I made a right-hand turn. I went down a couple of houses. Here's this yellow shop on the right. And I walk up, and there's a couple of guys there, and they all kind of depart ways and get in their trucks and go. And there's one guy left. He walks up to me, and he shakes my hand. He says, Will? I said, Joe? He says, yeah, come on inside. I couldn't believe it. We walked through the door. There are blacksmith tongs hanging everywhere. There's blacksmith hammers hanging everywhere. There is 1, 2, 3 anvils, 1, 2 power hammers, a coal forge, a propane forge, a lathe, a horizontal bandsaw. When the guy shook my hand, he had these dry hands that were just black. They were clean, but they just, all the cracks were filled in black. And he gave me some really neat information about, you know, the local blacksmith. I'm at a loss of words. The local blacksmith guilds, I guess. I don't know what the word is, the term is I'm looking for. So I got to get online, look up the Utah chapter, as well as there's a U.S. blacksmithing group. Forgive me for stumbling on it, but I'll put the links below so you can check them out yourself. But you know, as an aspiring blacksmith guy who knows nothing about blacksmithing, but I have a desire to get into it and play with it, this was the guy. This was the ticket. I ended up buying a hammer off of him. This is my first blacksmithing hammer here. I bought it for 10 bucks. And he was talking to me and he's like, well, you know, you need to get some practice in, and what you need yourself is you need a striking anvil. And I says, a striking anvil? He says, yeah. Get yourself a striking anvil. I says, well, what's a striking anvil? He says, well, you know, like a piece of railroad track or just something heavy in metal. I says, oh, well, where do I, you know, I says, I look online all the time, you know, pieces of railroad track are kind of pricey. Do you know anybody local? And he walks over to his bench, he starts shuffling some stuff around, and he walks over and he drops this in front of me. Bong! On the bench. He says, you need something like that. I says, well, how much do you want for it? He says, oh, that's yours. Take it. I said, you're kidding me. He says, no, take it. Go home, mount it to a stump, and start making that thing ring with that hammer. So, oh, it doesn't sound very good in my hand, but it's got a good ring to it. I'm really excited. You know, $10 for a blacksmith hammer, and I don't know, that's probably an 8-inch piece of railroad. I've got myself a horizontal bandsaw that I'm going to go through with Mr. Dude with the Face. We got some upcoming projects. So that's what I did on New Year's Eve. I'm really excited for 2019 and the things that I plan on bringing on this channel. If you haven't subscribed to this crazy channel yet, you might consider hit that subscribe button below as we do some woodworking. Hopefully soon we're going to start getting more into metal around here on the homestead. I just like to create. You can check out some of our videos right here, and if you want to, you can go ahead and click that button right there and subscribe to our fun little homesteading channel here. Just trying to do things on the cheap here on the homestead. Thanks for watching.